What up, what up, what up, what up, fam? I'd like to welcome y'all to Tough Talk Tuesdays. We in the new year. This is our first show of the year, and I'm here with my guy, Trav P. How you doing, brother? Brother. How you feeling?
Man, I feel good, man. I feel good, man. Ready to kick this thing off right.
You know, it's funny, man, because this is the first year, every year people have their resolutions. And I made a video one year about the power of words, and a resolution is a resolve.
Yeah.
That means I'm finna stop some shit.
Yeah.
Not I'm gonna start. Like my New Year's resolution is to start jogging every day. And I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
You gotta say my New Year's resolution is to stop being sedentary or somewhere. And we talked about before, and I just highly broke down that this is not the new year. But for some reason, man, I promise you, I felt a very Christmassy spirit this year, and I don't even celebrate Christmas. You know what I'm saying? And it's something about this new year that feels so right to me. You know how the pastor got a phrase for the new year, new you, or 26 is a year for the mix or whatever. I feel like that, man. How you feel about this new year? Like, what's going on with you coming out of the holidays, man?
Man, like you say, this Christmas was powerful, man. Away from what it mean, what it don't mean, just in its purest form of being around who matters and understanding what matters to them. Man, this was one of them years, my children, teenagers, so the material aspect of really wanting to, see children happy, we passed that. And it was really one of those who matters and what matters to them. And man, I experienced that. And I want to say that you realize, man, love and life become easy, man, when you can answer that equation. So I just feel good in that.
I want to start the new year off with a question to make a point. Starting it off right here. If you knew that you were going to be stranded on an island for the rest of your life, starting tomorrow, and somebody said, Trav, we're going to put you on this island and you can't get off and you're going to die there. You're going to die on this island.
Yeah.
What 5 things would you bring to that island?
God almighty. Things, not people. Things.
You could bring people, so you could say family if you want to, so you can bring people. So let's go ahead with that. You could.
Yeah. I'm bringing my family.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring me some potato seeds.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring me some potato seeds. You know what I'm talking about? I love a bag of potatoes. If I ain't never had to have one thing my whole life, boy, give me some potatoes.
Yeah, I'm like that with rice.
Yeah.
Your family, some potato seeds.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. I can't even think of nothing else.
That's why I put you on the spot. You asked me what the show was going to be about. I'm putting you on the spot. Well, let me give you some suggestions to clear your mind out, some prompts.
Come on.
Would you bring a cell phone so you can look at what's going on in the world or call back to the world?
Well, okay. Well, let's dig into the question. Okay, so
you can start tomorrow. Any 5 things. Trav, you going to this island, pick 5 things. You going there, and that's where you're going to live the rest of your life. Anything in the possible world.
Well, like I say now, if I'm gonna answer this personally on the real side, my mind and imagination got to go to the infrastructure of the island. So I got to build that first before I even can entertain the idea. If we're going somewhere with water, is we're going to somewhere that's already civilized. So
it's an island already civilized. It's an island and it's already civilized. You ain't got to bring shelter. Shelter there, water there, shit like that is there. Animals.
So everything already there.
Yeah, everything already there.
Oh, all I got to bring is my wife and my family. Okay. Yeah, that's all I need. There's people there too.
No, ain't no people there. Just you. And what you take. But give me 5 though. You got to give me 5. Your family.
I want to take my truck. Yeah. I want to take my tools. count all that as one.
Truck and tools.
Truck, my family, a bag of seeds.
All right.
Chickens and a cow.
Chicken and cow.
Yeah, a bag of seeds, some meat, my family, my tools. Yeah, in a truck.
All right. Now I put that up on that screen. The reason I asked that, man, is because I was thinking, now think about this. You said, put that on the screen. Your family, your truck. Obviously, you gonna want to ride around. Y'all might want to see the island. You got to get from place to place. Your tools, seeds, chickens, cows. So we're gonna put the chicken and cow in the same category. So notice you ain't say nothing about no cell phone. You don't want to watch TV. You ain't said nothing about no TV. You ain't said nothing about no money. So I said that all that to say is everything that you said you would take to that island, if you knew you was going to die on that island, right? Everything that you would take to that island, you got right now.
Yeah.
Notice how life really is. We already got what we really want.
Man.
And that's what I realized this new year, man. I already got everything I want. Anything else is just cherry on top.
Come on, man.
I've been asking people this question. Ain't nobody saying no money. Ain't nobody saying no money. Ain't nobody think about no designer clothes. I'm like, why ain't nobody saying that about no clothes and no money? The things that's most important to us that we think we can't live without, we already fucking got, Trav.
Man, listen, man. Now, I don't know if you fucking with me or not.
Go ahead, drop some science.
But I just said, man, when you understand who matters and what matters to them, love, life become easy. It's men and women right now together that has lost track of what matters. And they doing a whole lot of any goddamn thing that don't matter. Your attention is the most powerful thing you can pay. I promise you that. So if you realize, man, what matters, man, like I say, we already got, I say we romanticize the ideals of becoming something with no reality of being. The truth is in the moment.
You know, that's so amazing because I knew I was going to ask you that question. And when you started talking about Christmas and what really mattered, I was like, wow, he already got it. That's what I realized, man, this year. I'm like, man, I got it. I got it. You know, you know what I realized, what I want that I'm working towards and manifesting towards. If, like I said, another question, if somebody told you right now, Trav, the income that you make right now, we'll let you retire for the rest of your life, but you can't make another dollar but the income that you make now. Would you retire? Would you keep working?
I got to keep working. I got to keep working.
Now, let me rephrase the question so you can understand it. What you make now on your job, you can get that for the rest of your life as a retirement check. What you make on your job per month right now, what you making now, you can get that for the rest of your life as a retirement check. And if and your wife can retire too.
No, at this point right now, no, I got to keep fighting. I got to keep going. I got a purpose, man. And in my heart, when you tie into purpose, you always got this struggle and this battle against money in a sense. You know I could go be a preacher and do it for all those antics, but man, when you're dealing with purpose, man, man, how dare y'all say I'm doing this for money? I'm doing this because I ain't got no choice.
Yeah.
But the world make me realize, man, that my heart sometimes get bigger than my pocket. So now, man, I got to keep striving, man. I got some people depending on me. And I know, man, I want to let my cup runneth over. So I'm going to keep fighting that fight as a leader. I couldn't stand still and be complacent.
My guy Chuck James say I'm out. I agree with Chuck James. I'm out of here, man. You know, the reason I say that, Trav, and the reason I ask you that question, I got sick over the holidays. And man, I really got chance to just spend time with my wife and daughter. And I realized, just like that island, when I said we got everything we need, I was like, Chris, if you could get your check for the rest of your life and I get my check for the rest of your life, would you want us to retire? She was like, hell yeah. I think I'm to the point in my life, man, where you remember when we was kids, we used to see that old couple that get up and go to dinners every day. And every time you go to dinners, it's an old white man and his wife, or an old black woman and her husband. And they reading the paper in the morning. They ain't even talking. They eating their little breakfast. And you said, man, they be in here every day. They might be in Dennis one day, Hardest one day, Bob Evans one day. Man, I'm getting to the point where I want to be like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's the idea of being free. It's the idea of waking up, me and my lady. Like I said, her check coming and my check coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think I'm past helping motherfuckers out, man.
Yeah. Well,
if I can't help you out what I make now and my wife make, I swear to God, I think I have as old folks say, given up. I don't want to help a motherfucker out, Trav.
Yeah.
If it ain't coming for some knowledge, some good words, I think I done given up on helping motherfuckers out, man. Real talk.
Yeah. Man, it's a powerful question. I like to say sometimes the question is more powerful than the answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you at least got to think on it and chew on it to ask yourself. But it's about perspective. I got teenage children.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in this world. I ain't rich. I don't make six figures. Grocery high as hell. Boy, I'm fighting a hell of a fight.
You realize I'm saying you're going to get your check, right?
Listen to what I'm saying.
If you make it now and your wife check, y'all going to get that. Free.
Yeah, we're going to get that. I'm talking about now. I'm talking about in the moment. Now, let me talk about in the moment. In the moment. One thing about freedom, man, one thing about security is not feeling vulnerable. Man, I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm fighting a good fight. But boy, it's a hell of a feeling when you're vulnerable financially or any type of way as a man, knowing that people depend on you. And it's real out here. So I'm let us say, knock on wood. Man, I'm doing my thing, but we know saving ain't like it used to be. You got to make 2-3 times more than it costs to live to save and bring stability. Man, I got 2 children that's approaching college. So, and I want to be in a position to where in the order, in the way things work, when my children get into a way to begin a family, I want to be able to support. And if I got what I'm at right now, man, I ain't secure as I want to be in my spirit. So
I see where you're coming from.
Personally,
I'm like, I'm looking at it like what I make now, I'm living off.
Yeah.
What you make now, you living off. But like you said, when your kids go to college, you might want to buy them a new car or pay for college. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Or I've seen. I remember when I first got married, we was buying our first house, and I remember the lady at the bank was saying, well, y'all got to pay off this, and this. If y'all can pay off these couple of things, y'all good. And I remember this lady just looked at me and my ex and said, y'all don't got anybody in your family that can just give you 10-20% down as like a wedding gift? I was like, fuck no, bitch. Like, what kind of family you come from? So I can understand that situation where you might want to get to the point where you stacking, and when your son or your daughter buy a house, you might want to give them their down payment or something like that. I remember when my homeboy got married, and he went to the Justice of Peace, and I was like, your lady she a little high sedated, man. What's going on? And he was like, hey, man, my father gave us $25,000 for our wedding. That's what he said he had for us. And I talked to my old lady. We was like, we was going to put that on the down payment on the house.
Yeah.
So they didn't even get, you know what I'm saying, have a big wedding. They went to the Justice of Peace. Ironically, recently I read a article said the bigger the ring and the bigger the wedding, the shorter the marriage. It said couples that go to the justice of peace stay together longer. Now I was thinking about that, and he was like, damn, you would think that would be, I wouldn't look at it like that would be a factor. But when you really think about it, it kind of says something. You can see the correlation in it, right? Can you see the correlation in that?
Yeah.
So I want to talk about something, man, as we get going, because we had this conversation earlier as husbands, and being able to cajole a woman and listen to a woman and get a woman to support you. This guy is named Ugly Money Nietzsche. I'm going to bring this up, man. I'm going to bring this up because I want you to see this. I want the people to see this. This is something I saw I thought was so amazing. And I made a video about it, and I'm about to bring it up now.
Come on.
All righty. Let me click on... Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one.
Money Nietzsche. I'm using his content as an example to make a point. Get the point. Don't focus on me using him as the example.
Did I not tell you how I was?
Yes.
So did. Why is it an issue when who I am and who I told you I am, I show you that's what I am?
Because I'm supposed to be the only one.
I told you weren't gonna be the only one. I told you it was gonna be my favorite. I never said my only. You didn't have to do all that, and then you getting on Instagram doing all that crazy shit. You ain't have to do that. Nobody knew about it.
Oh well, that's what you gonna get every single time I see you with another bitch. That's what you gonna get.
Baby, listen. I done told you who I am. I done told you what it was. You have agreed to it. You are violating the contract. You violating. I'm not violating. You are reneging on your word.
So can I go outside and for other niggas?
We didn't discuss that. Did we agree to that? Did we agree to that?
No.
Okay then.
Oh well.
You know this shit ain't going nowhere. This shit ain't going nowhere. This shit ain't going nowhere. So I mean, at the end of the day, either you gonna get with it or you're not. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Get with it.
You gonna have to get with it. Because if you don't, you're gonna be paying some bills, and you know you don't like to pay bills. Okay then, goddamn it. Well, I pay the cost to be the boss. You gonna either get with it or get out. And that's just how it's gonna go. If not, go pay bills. You wanna go back to the apartment?
No.
Because you acting like it.
What's your point, Javon?
Now, first of all, man, I thought that was so lame for him to put his old lady on the camera and do her like that. It's almost like he was saying, well, I didn't show the beginning of the video. The beginning of the video, they was out and about. He was with a couple of other chicks, and she started shining, wilding out. And he was like, you ain't got to shine and wild out on me. I thought that was so lame because she had shined on him on an Instagram Live, right?
Yeah.
And now what he's doing is sitting her down, having a conversation with her, on a video, on a live, to kind of, I guess, get her to apologize or whatever. And from what I'm seeing, she never apologized. So let's break this down. I know he said to her, I told you you was going to be my favorite, not my only one. And she agreed. Now, if she agreed, the skates is on you before we had this conversation. You see what I'm saying? So where is the power of the money? I'm trying to figure out, when money is involved, there should be some type of power. How are you sitting here letting this woman blink her eyes and roll her eyes at you and all this stuff when you paying for everything? And then finally, when you said, do you understand our agreement? She like, well, can I sleep with other people? He like, that ain't an agreement. And finally, he never got her to say, you know what, baby? Through your leadership, I understand where you're coming from. I was out of pocket. I understand that I'm not going to be the only one. I'll acquiesce. He finally had to go to threatening her. Do you want to pay some bills? Because you can go back to the apartments. What do you think about that? Because to me, man, that would drive me crazy knowing someone. I know every relationship is usatory, but to know somebody only even associating with me for money, man, I wake up one morning and say, get the hell out of my damn house. I'm sick of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you feel about that whole situation, Trav? You break that down and keep a spill on it.
I thought it was a skit, and I think it's a skit.
You really do?
Yeah, I think it's a skit. And I say that because I don't watch his show in a sense, but I know it's kind of like the manosphere, man versus woman type thing. Every time I see a clip, he hitting the bang, 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 bang when he reading a woman based off talking points. So I guess he's displaying what honesty look like to a woman. But like I say, in that world, everything is hypothetical. Now I'm gonna talk some real life shit. I got a daughter, I got sisters, I got a wife. And I send my daughter to school every day. And she got something in her right now at 14. I wish I would know she let a motherfucker talk to her any kind of way and don't stand in her dignity and respect. I'm talking real life shit. So the fact that he can even talk to a woman like that in real life or hypothetical, that's a broke. And you a sucker motherfucker if you portray or play on someone broke. Because any real woman that I could see as a single man or my wife that I've been with now, who I attracted in my likeness, man wouldn't even stand for me to talk to her like that. Kind of fuck you. Excuse me, I don't mean to get real, but
now go ahead, do your thing.
We so caught up in not knowing the difference between real life shit and make believe. See, I know some brothers in real life who really got that power to have women submit, but it ain't mean. It ain't ugly. It ain't wrong. It's real compassion in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who want to make you believe that he can, man, he ain't doing nothing but yanking a woman every goddamn where he go. He's a yanker. He don't know how to yoke no woman.
Explain what you mean. Explain what you mean when you say yanking and yoking. I feel like I got an idea, but go ahead and get into it.
Well, when you, in the Bible, it says you want to be equally yoked with a man and a woman. When they become equally yoked, they one flesh. Kind of like one band, one sound. They in the groove. You can see them dancing and grooving together through life. She trusts her man. She submit. There's nothing more powerful in the idea of a woman submitting when she lay down and allow a man to use her body. There's no more greater submission in the entire universe of the world other than a woman submitting her body to a man. Now think about all these women who fuck regularly but can't understand the idea of submitting.
Wow, that's
amazing. So when a man makes a woman feel safe and secure in this, she want to be yoked. And if it feel good, even in the moment. Old man told me a long time ago, he said it's only one time you really control a woman. And he said if you pay attention in that time, you will understand something that you can take away. I say, what's that? He said, when you got that thing in her, the warm blood of Jesus, he said, watch this, just pay attention. Whisper directions in her ear. She'll do whatever you say. The power is, can you keep the connection when you disconnect? So that's yoking a woman. But if you don't understand that, and she like you because you got confidence, whether the confidence is real or fake, the confidence could be money. Money make you feel like you can handle anything, and she feels safe with your money. He'll pay everything. So some people got false sense of confidence, but when it's false and it ain't tied to no purpose, he gonna yank your ass every goddamn well. He gonna yank you over here. He gonna yank you over there. You ain't gonna really want to go, but you're gonna have to go because you know you can't deal without it, or you can't, or you need his confidence. So he gonna yank your motherfucking ass by your neck.
You know,
and this ain't about the woman. This is about the man. Some men ain't got no choice but to yank a bitch.
You know, you said something that's so amazing to me that I had thought about before. There's nothing more submissive than bending over or laying down and let a man dig your guts out. But it's like the word submit really means to give, and to sit here and think that you bought it. You bought it. and you didn't even buy submission. That's crazy to me. To think that this woman only lays down with you because you pay for her, and then she don't even give you the respect. She's not submitted to you. I remember early on in my marriage, and I'm just being honest about being a man. I raised my wife in I meant to say I raised my wife at my voice, but I raised my voice at my wife. And it was one of them things where it was like not even I don't know, rah-rah fighting shit. It was just like, hey, you're gonna damn listen to such and such and such. And the look I got from her, and it just was so ironic that as I was saying it, I was standing in front of the mirror. And when she looked back at me, the look on her face was so like, I thought we was tight. You yelling at me like a nigga. The look on her face was so crazy because I could see myself in the mirror looking at her. And it was like she was so scared, but she was so disappointed and so saddened. And that's when I said to myself, look how fucking stupid you look, then bulled up at this goddamn woman. And my wife will tell you, and people have this perception of me. Man, I talk to my wife gently and kindly. And when I can't talk to her, when I feel like she's not listening, I write her letters. And I say, when you feel like responding to this letter, you can. And she'll be in the other room and she'll write me a letter back. I realize with a woman, the old saying grandma used to say, you get more, what's the saying? You get more flies from honey than you do vinegar. I realize with a woman, just the patience and understanding is what'll make them submit to you. Like people wonder why my wife is so submitted to me and ride with me so much, because I'm very patient and I'm very understanding with her. I realized there are times I realized early on from studying women, I was like, okay, a woman don't like to be confronted when she's wrong anyway. So the fact that you confront her is shocking to her. Oh my God, I made a mistake. I love this man. I submit to him. I never want to make mistakes. So the fact that you're confronting a mistake is shocking to her. So then I realized a woman needs an hour or two. I learned to say, hey, listen, this is how I feel. We can talk about it when you're ready. Because a woman needs an hour or two to wrap her mind around what's going on. Because if you talk to her too fast, she's going to feel like she's on the hot seat, and then she'll get defensive and start saying stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I just realized, man, you don't get nowhere with a woman with that tough shit. Now, she might tolerate you, but I believe that woman is, if that won't no skit, now that you say it, Trav, it might be a skit. Because I was like, how stupid does this nigga look sitting here showing that he paid for this woman's entire life and she don't mind or listen and respect him? That's so dumb to me. Like, but he called himself Ugly Money.
Man, like I say, 2026, man. We got to be on some real life shit, man. Everybody real until shit get real. And everybody wish a motherfucker would till a motherfucker do. I heard something say, this is the year of the horse. I like that. That's some cool rhetoric. Whatever your horse is, whatever gets you through, get on that shit and ride it. Mind hero training. But this real life shit, man, we got to cut away all of this make-believe shit. If you're a real man amongst men and you speak of your woman, man, you got to speak with honor about your woman, especially if you're calling her yours. This real life shit. If you got a daughter, come on, y'all. If you got a daughter, what's your idea of a woman? What's she watching her daddy do? But then we realized that the strip club got a freshman class just like college. 18-year-old freshman class of broken hoes. That once year, maybe 2 years ago, was a precious child. Man, this real life shit. Hey, look, another thing I want to say in this, even with old big ugly money motherfucker, because he a motherfucker. Look how he talking to a sister. I hope it was a skit, you ugly motherfucker. But let me say it like this to this ugly motherfucker. Because that's what his soul is. And this ain't pandering. This any ugly motherfucker who accept that. And if you accept that, you probably an ugly motherfucker as a woman. Y'all attracted each other.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying this to say, man, if you got a daughter, man, this shit real. Let's take the microphone out the losing locker room. Can we do that in 2026? Can we take all the microphones out the losing locker rooms?
You know, me and my guy Deshaun call it the loser Avengers. You know, like all of the motherfucking losers and got together and created an Avengers group. And it's like a lot of the stuff, a lot of the talking points we're hearing, I wish we could left in 2026. You said something that I made another video about today. I want you to wrap on this because you just said the strip club got a freshman class. And peep this right here. This was an amazing video to me to say, wow, what can somebody do with this situation?
God almighty.
And listen at what she said happens to her as a youth. And she want a man. What man gonna be able to deal with this? Peep this.
I got molested by my cousin when I was 9. He denied it when I was about 12, and I told my dad. He's just like, this never happened. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, clearly we're just all lying about being touched because basically everybody in my family has gone through some type of,
situation.
Yeah. And then when I was 12, that's when I had to do community service at the Boys and Girls Club because I had gotten in trouble. I was on probation. And I had given like my first blowjob to the staff member, and I was 12, and he was a grown man. It was 2 days in a row. I didn't tell anybody. I felt like it was normal. I didn't feel like anything of it, and it just really catapulted me into like being super.
Yeah.
At age 13, my dad approved of my 19-year-old boyfriend. I was 13. He was 19.
That's right. You know, that's an old saying that I always say when something happened to a little girl. They say, where was her daddy at? Where was her daddy at? And I saw this documentary on pedophiles. They say the number one thing that they do that decide if they're going to try to molest somebody is decide if they figure out if they got a father in their life. Obviously, this girl father, she said if she's telling the truth, and I believe her, at 9 years old, she got molested by her cousin. Daddy ain't do nothing. Daddy let her down. 19-year-old boy move in the house when she was 13. A woman like that, I feel like they daddy be after them. What is you letting your 13-year-old have a 19-year-old boy, unless you in there listening to them having sex on some perverted shit? But my point was, Trav, there are women out here like that that's been that traumatized. And obviously, I don't know if you know who she is. She's a porn star now. I've seen her porn. I ain't gonna front. She's probably one of the top 5 porn stars I've ever seen in my life. But how does a man, you would think a woman like that would have just a sexual appetite that's insatiable. We have women and we have men have been molested, and we trying to come together and heal, as so-called heal together. What can be done in a situation like that? You know what I'm saying? Like I just see like, sister, you doomed for life. Can't no man handle you unless he a freak, nasty, crazy motherfucker.
Man, we gotta examine the slip, not the fall. When they fall, they
down.
Examine.
So you saying she already gone?
She gone. I told you it's a Bible. I ain't gonna get into it, but it's a Bible story. Ezekiel 23, verse 20 through 23, about 2 sisters. They was gone. God had to let them go, man. Couldn't save them, man. Don't save. You can't save them. But we got to examine the slip, not the fall. We all children that done gotten old. See, this real life shit. Fuck make believe. Man, I want to smile. I want to be happy. But man, God almighty, man, real life shit. It's children, man, out here right now. I ain't talking make believe. Right now, getting fucked up. Somebody playing on them, touching on them. Man, we done took morals out of everything. I got a teenage child. I'm listening to teenage conversations and rhetoric. I'm in the school parking lot. I'm in the school practices. Man, everybody thinking sexually out of order. Man, how does a girl, how does a boy know they're gay when gay is about action, being touched? You don't know what you is until sex happens. It's already happening. But we playing these motherfucking games. 2026. That baby just talked about being fucked up. And you say, man, we can't save them. But it's some fucked up motherfuckers that go to that strip club every night. I gotta argue with men in real fucking life when I say a strip club is a house of pain, and they say, man, you can't say that, you can't say that. Motherfucker, everybody in there was somebody's daughter that got by fucked up. It's a mathematical equation that brings a young woman on stage with a pussy out, making it blow wind to proof a motherfucking dollar.
Man, don't make me laugh like that, man. You serious? Don't make it.
Ain't no motherfucking God and love in that.
You know, that's funny.
Anybody don't see that for what that is the type of motherfucker that created and perpetuated. It's 2026, man. You either real or you motherfucking ain't. You either for the cause of love and God and realness to bring children up in order in nature to say we can be better, we can do better, or you ain't. You one of them motherfucking devils. And I don't believe in all the aspect of playing games. I'm talking about morality in the soul. Fuck what you believe. I'm talking about what you do.
You told the story about one of your homeboys' daughter who had got on the pole and how I fucked them up. I can remember the last time I went to a strip club, and I didn't think like that until you said that. I mean, I didn't think like that, but I started to think like what you just said the last time I went to a strip club. And it was funny because I had an interesting conversation with a stripper. This is a dark-skinned, slim girl with a natural body, and I was in Atlanta. This is probably about 10 years ago. And she came over and she said, you want to dance? Well, as she was walking by, she was the only natural girl with a real body in there. And she had natural hair. So as she walked by, I reached my hand out. She said, oh my God, you want to dance? I said, yeah. And as she was like, got ready to sit on my lap. I was like, no, don't sit on my lap. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just, as the older I got, I was like, I don't want no woman rubbing her pussy on my pants. You know what I'm saying? It's just not unsanitary. Back in the day, I used to be right there. But as she was dancing, she was talking to me, and then she was like, that's $20. And for some reason I gave her $100 bill. She said, oh my God, thank you so much, thank you. And I said, why are you acting like that over 100? You a dancer, don't you get hundreds all the time? She was like, nah, they here. I said, why? She said, because all the men love the women with the BBLs. And I looked around. I said, everything looked like an ant. I said, you the only one without a BBL here. She said, yeah, I'm thinking about getting one, though. And I was like, nah, I don't get the BBL. I said, maybe you find another career or something, or, you know what I'm saying, just keep doing what you're doing. She was like, nah, this is me. I'm going to get a BBL. And I just was sitting there. And I thought about it. I said, man, this somebody's daughter. And this lady says she finna cut on her body and get a fake ass so she can make more money. And I just sat there and I looked around, and I had paid $1,200 to be in that section. And I just looked around and I said, man, all these women in here fucked up. And then my spirit said, nigga, you fucked up too. You sitting in here eating around this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm eating around all this shit. These asses walking around all this glitter. And I definitely agree with you, man. But you said something that's so amazing. You said two things, and I want to recap. You said gay is about a touch. How you know you're gay until you get touched? How you know you're gay? It's like how you know you like coochie until you get some. You know what I'm saying? Or how you know you don't like it? That right there. And then you said something else that I thought was real dope. You said it's a mathematical equation to end up on that pole. Get into that for me.
Blowing a poof in the air out of that pussy hole.
What you mean?
Blow a dog.
Yeah. That shit was funny, man. You made me laugh at that.
Yeah, everything is mathematics, man. And this shit ain't deep neither. You just got to think and pay attention. We all children that has got no. Anything out of order has a malfunction. There is an order to raising a family in this society. Mother, father, child. You cultivate them to understand the program in which they are made. Man, I wear this shit on my chest every day, and I don't give a fuck about no Egypt. I'm talking about principles. It's the closest thing I ever saw that understood the principles of a man, a woman, and their children. It take a man to raise a man, but it take a man to show his daughter what to expect from one. Expectations is the seed of disappointment. See, little girls out here don't know what to expect. Don't know what it is. Don't know what's real. So when you take these things out of order, the equation starts off with subtraction. And it keep going down negative. Any woman that don't understand her virtue, her temple, where life comes out of, where she submits to a real man in order. Let me tell y'all about being a Jehovah's Witness. When a man watches himself be born again out of a woman that he loved and cherished, he witnessed God in his purest form. And he get an assignment that he got to adhere to for the rest of his life. And the only man that didn't get it is a man that didn't witness it. So I know why he don't give a fuck about his children. Because maybe he didn't know that they was his enough to even be there. Out of order, malfunction, negative equation. Shit ain't no make-believe, y'all.
You know, man, it's funny that how you say that, because I used to be of a one that said maybe some women just hoes or want to make money. But the older I got, like I said, the last time I was in that strip club, I felt like you and I thought like you, because I don't care. There's nothing you can do to make me take my clothes off in front of somebody, Trav. I just can't do it. Ain't no amount of money. So I know for you to be able to show yourself in nakedness, something has had to happen to you. For you to and I'm not saying that the person is a bad person. I'm saying for somebody to say, I want to take my clothes off for money, and not being funny, just using the Bible. The Bible said they was ashamed when they realized they was naked. Mm. So, man, I don't walk around with my shirt off, man.
Man.
Unless I'm at the goddamn beach. I just can't imagine some woman looking, and this is a joke, but I want to put this in my comedy show. As a man, you ain't never looked under your balls. You know what I'm saying? But I would imagine, if you with a woman, a woman's be a little bit darker between her legs. Now imagine me as a man knowing somebody looking under my balls. I can't do it. I could not take my clothes off and dance around for no motherfucking money. I think you have to have been traumatized to do that, man. Mm. And like you said, it's a mathematical equation, and it start with missing something. But it be some addition too. Motherfuckers been and got molested. Motherfuckers been and got paid. See how I feel to make a lot of money for a short amount of time. And in the very same way, vice versa, as a man, one of the pitfalls, I couldn't see myself standing on a corner with no drugs.
Man, let me say this, man. I want to reel this back in before the point get lost. Nobody's above the bullshit, but the bullshit will make you better if you're real enough to deal with it. Man, life coming at us fast. Every day, our children, our spouse leave this house. Warfare. I'm talking about, man, with one mission, when they leave for a purpose or a reason. You realize your reason. When I leave to go to work, when my children leave to go to school, when my wife leave to go to the store to get something we need, it's warfare. My babies leave with a light. You know what light do. Light attracts. And when I say light, I ain't talking about nothing superficial. I'm talking about just love, just walking around in this here world, knowing in your soul that somebody care about you. If you really love your woman and your woman love you, that's how you walk around in this world, but that attracts things.
Yeah.
So life come at us fast. Every day I got to pay attention to my babies. My wife, my son, I got to damn near, every day I got to come home and examine myself in that mirror to make sure I ain't bit, make sure I ain't got hit, because ain't nobody above the bullshit. The right thing can get in my baby ear, your baby ear, anybody, in your woman ear, in your ear. So ain't nobody above this. I ain't speaking on this in 2026 like, oh, we just winning over here. We got to wake up every day and run the play. One of the most powerful things I learned in football was the crackback block. Man, I got my clock clean one time, and I couldn't get back from there because I got embarrassed. But it took me a while to understand what nothing I could have done. They caught me from my blind side. I wasn't paying attention. So for the rest of my football career, man, I stayed low to the ground in my position. I say, man, I ain't going to get caught no more. That's every day in life. If you ain't confident in your home and your woman leave out and she see a light that she ain't familiar with, boy, nature is a motherfucker.
Yeah, man. I used to feel like that about I used to feel like that about cut blocks. I played defensive end. Motherfucker try to cut me, and they taught us, you know, how to put our hands down, but man, I try to elbow you in your goddamn back. You know, it's funny how you said that, you know, ain't nobody above the bullshit, because I got a special needs daughter. And sometimes I think maybe I'm a little bit more worried than the average parent was without a special need kid. But the way you broke that down, man, we all worried. You know, my daughter is transitioning schools next week from pre-K to a real kindergarten class. And they actually gonna have a graduation for her. She's the only kid graduating, and she gonna get to walk. They having the whole school. I'm like, wow, these people love my child. You know, the whole school having a graduation ceremony for one little girl. You know what I'm saying? And you know, my grandbaby was over my house last weekend, and my daughter saw her with a slice of pizza. And I don't think she quite understanding sharing yet. And my grandbaby is a little young, and my daughter snatched the pizza out of her hand and started eating it. And my grandbaby started crying. And I said, man, I started thinking about, what if my daughter go to regular kindergarten and she don't understand sharing yet? You know what I'm saying? Something this small. And what if she try that and some little kid push her down? You know what I'm saying? And I started thinking about the things I'm worried about. And my daughter just going to kindergarten. So I imagine a man with a teenage daughter who's beautiful, and these sorry motherfuckers out here in the world, you know what I'm saying, standing on the side of the school like R. Kelly, or just having a teenage son trying to make sure he don't get caught up having no gun, trying to protect themselves, or being with the wrong guys, man, you know. So being that father, being that protector, man, that shit is on 24/7. I realized why my grandfather used to sleep on the couch now. I thought it was because him and grandma didn't get along. But now I realize, man, when I'm home not working third shift, I'm up. I'm fucking spotter. I had to readjust my ring cam. Goddamn, a spotter make that fucking light come on that bitch, and I'm at the door. You know what I'm saying? So as a man, we always in protection mode, man. And if you ain't got time for that, you ain't got time to be a man. That's happening all the time. So that's one of the biggest things I felt about my dad when I got ready to meet my dad. I always said, man, how you not care what was happening to me out here, man?
Man, hey, listen.
That was my biggest thing. I asked him, he said, son, is there something? I said, man, how you not care what was happening to me? If my mama had a boyfriend that was beating my ass or molesting me, or if I was getting, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, how you have a seed and not care what's happening?
Man, I want to say this, man. 2026, we talking real life shit. We ain't talking make believe, and we real life brothers. And like you say, you the master teacher. In real life, you the master teacher. And I ain't saying this to big you up. I ain't saying this to boost your ego. I'm saying in real life, you a master teacher. You got a master's degree. You taught high school. You understand the psychology of children. You a master teacher, man. Sometimes we got to realize we on a divine path. You a master teacher with a special needs daughter with the need of a master to teach her. And I believe, man, you're going to rewrite history, you and your daughter, in real life. And so when you understand the commitment that it takes as a father, a married man, only a motherfucking fool can't see beside the rhetoric you do online.
Yeah.
See, people don't understand the difference between real life shit and make believe. See, I ain't popular, or I couldn't be popular because I ain't trying to make you believe. I just want you to understand some real life shit. Because in real life, the shit we talking about can save a young girl's divinity in life. Just by you paying attention to the motherfucker coming over your house, sneaking breadcrumbs to your baby. That's what the fuck hero training is. How can you be a hero to save a woman and some children in real life? Because we fucked up in real life. And we listening to all these losing motherfuckers who heartbroken. And it ain't no about who right, who wrong. Examine the slip, not the foul. Real life shit, 2026. I dare you to come on this podcast and talk some bullshit in real life shit.
Yeah, man. Like you said, man, it's a lot of losers with microphones, man. And to me, when you get to a certain age, in certain villages, they wouldn't let you be of anything unless you had a wife and children. They had to know, they had to examine you. How would I know if you have compassion? How would I know if you have, as old folks say, the stick-to-itness? You know what I'm saying? To stay in there and keep going. How would I know? How would I know? There's certain things, man. You said something, one of your partners lost his family for an outside baby, but you say he's still a husband, and living like a husband, moving like a husband. It's certain things that I think until you become a husband and father, you really don't know what you're made of, man. You really don't know what you're made of. And I'm not advocating everybody go out and get married and have kids. I'm just saying it's certain things you really don't know what you're made of until you have to deal with that. And like I said, I can imagine one day my daughter want to go on a band trip, and I'm like, hell no, but you got to let them grow. You know what I'm saying? And I'm nervous about kindergarten to start next week. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's an amazing thing being a man, and it's an amazing thing being a protector. And you really, 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 really have to watch what you see. The Bible said the eyes are the windows to the soul. And I think people don't realize you can look in a window, right? You can look in a window and see what's going on. So I understand this saying people should be able to, people can look at our eyes and see a lot about us, but also a window to a soul. This light shines in the window. So it's like our eyes and our ears let shit in us that make us certain things that manifests itself back out. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's a grown man somewhere. He want a motherfucking chain bad because that's all he looking at. You know what I'm saying? That's all he looking at. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's a grown man that wants some sneakers. That's what he's seeing. That's what has got into his eyes and permeated his eyes. You know what I'm saying? Nothing can't. The best example for me, and before we get out of here, then I'm gonna let you take it home. You know the Central Park 5. That guy got out of jail after all these years and married Delicious. What the hell he been looking at? That's one of the most, and you can tell he been sitting in jail watching Love and Hip Hop, Flavor Love. I want me a fat ass woman with a blah blah blah, like a little boy that ain't never got out of jail. You, after all you done seen, you married Delicious. After going through the Central Park 5 situation. So I know you've been looking at a lot of crazy shit and listening at a lot of crazy shit. If that's who you wanted after all them years in jail. Wrap us up, Trav.
Man, growing up, man, my daddy used to get on me and he used to say, boy, your heart big, but you can't save the world, son. It's going to always be some motherfuckers. Can't save the world. And that's true, man. And it took me a while to accept that. I'm on some real shit. But I had to realize that it's going to always be a spectrum. It's going to always be horrors, demons, destruction, hate. It's going to always be that. But you ain't got to be it. And especially those in my world. Meaning those that I come in contact, meaning those that care enough to pay me and you some attention. I just know that I got a purpose, that I could plant a seed that could grow in something in someone to say, I ain't gonna be it, and I'm gonna fight my fight to help my children not be it, but they always gonna exist. But do you understand your position? That's the point. And I want to say, man, and I say it all the time, ain't nobody above the bullshit. Man, I can walk out that door and temptation hit me like it ain't never hit me before. And that ain't always got to be about cheating or with another woman. It could be anything. It could be a situation where I lose my cool and act a goddamn fool and I don't get to come back home.
Yeah.
It could be anything that make me destroy my family. So I know some brothers that made mistakes. Ain't nobody above the bullshit. But you got to examine the slip, not the fall. Don't lose your identity. Know where you slipped at. Know why you slipped at. One of my older brothers say, man, Trav, I just want to give you honor. And I want to say that even though you met me, I was a wild man. You taught me that I wasn't fucked up, though. And I thank you for knowing the difference.
Yeah.
That's the point, man. We all go through wild stages. Man, that's life. That's real life shit. But at some point, you got to grow up, realize, mature, to know who matters and what matters to them. So
you already know what it is, Trav. That's an hour. We're gonna get out of here, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your passion, man. Give you your flowers. I respect you. I love you as a brother. Hero Training is gonna take off. It's already taking off. You know what I'm saying? I admire you with your books, and just keep pressing on, man. Because I really, really, really believe that this year is that year. I ain't never been on no new year, new me, new way, but for some reason, it's something about this year that we finna turn that goddamn corner, brother.
Down in the country, down in the country, we gonna ride our horse down in the country. Yeah, we just some country bunkums
Hey, look,
gonna
like
take
you said,
over the world and
it's the
change
year of the
anybody
horse.
that pays some attention.
It's the year of the horse, baby. Let's ride out. I'm a Sagittarius, half man, half horse. Trevor, I appreciate you. I love you, bro. Y'all stay tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Me and Miss Carla being here tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Peace.